times he took money where he had earned money at the Army and put us in a hotel and stuff, and he paid that out of his pocket. And it's like I've been doing that some lately too, because to try to keep us warm.
I know.
Because in the tent a few nights ago, it got real cold. And so we put the full-size bed in the truck, in the back of the truck. That way, we can crank the truck and we can be warm.
Yeah. And guess what? I'm sorry, y'all didn't even see that video today. But what it is, they're still homeless in Virginia in a tent that blew over because it was too much wind and rain. And they had to work on getting the tent revived so that they could have some place to go into dry, but then it just got too cold. So what do you do when it's cold and wet and you're in a tent? Well, now you go to your SUV and it's cold in there too. You can't get comfortable sleeping in a car, in an SUV, two grown people. Thank y'all for being here. So I've been advocating for a homeless veteran and her caregiver since August of this year. And they had a voucher since March of 2025. And because the veteran could not secure housing during that time, her voucher was terminated by the department. Still homeless, now with no rental resources to pay a landlord if an agent can find a landlord. I mean, and that's what my training is all about. That's why I come here every day now. Since I don't know, I've been coming here a while every day, talking about housing homeless veterans. I've been able to house over 5,000 homeless veterans as a realtor. I would love to house multi-million-dollar income earners, but I don't do that. It's a lot of realtors who can do that, and I'm sure they're very happy doing that, making those fat commissions. But I just go where I'm needed. I'm a former homeless Army veteran, and I know the struggles of not being able to meet someone who can help me in this situation that I'm in right now. I'm homeless. I'm not service connected. So that means I don't get a check every month. I don't have family who can open their doors to let me in, to say, come on, stay here until you finish doing what you need to do until you get on your feet. That's not how this, system should work like that, but it doesn't. And for veterans who are homeless, we have so much money in our community, so much. And I don't even know how to say it without really, really letting you guys know how much money it is in the veterans community. But how do you access that money? That's the issue with a lot of people. That's the problem. You have a solution, but you don't know where to go with your solution. That's the problem. And then you have these homeless veterans don't know where to go for services because these organizations are not advertising, hey, we're over here to help you. You have to dig through spider webs to find some help in the veterans community. You do. There's no easy way for me to say it. I've been housing homeless veterans over 22 years. And knowing how to find organizations now has gotten much easier. And I teach you how to do that wherever you are, in my books and in my private group. Hold on, let me grab my books while I'm introducing myself. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am the subject matter expert in veterans homelessness and housing. I've housed over 5,000 homeless veterans as a realtor here in the Chicagoland area and some also nationwide, from homeless to home ownership and everything in between. And that includes transitional housing. So, for those who are in my transitional housing group, you'll receive more information than I give on the public stage. So I have created a library. The library is called U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resources Guidebook Series. This is one book right here, Finding Home. And it's a lot of books in my series. For whatever it is you want to learn, you can learn it. So Finding Home is for those who say, I know we shouldn't have homeless veterans, but I don't know what to do about it. This helps you find resources for veterans in any city, any state. I've found resources for veterans in Hawaii, in Las Vegas, in Akron, Ohio, in Florence, South Carolina. That's Las Vegas, Hawaii. So this teaches you as a community concerned member how to help those veterans you say you're concerned about. This next book is Collaborative Housing Solutions for Homeless Veterans. Let me read. My titles are so long. I apologize, but I don't, because it tells you exactly what you're going to get in the book. Effective Strategies for Housing Homeless Veterans, Collaborative Housing Solutions for Homeless Veterans. This book right here is for social workers, case managers, helping veterans transition from homelessness to stable housing. So this could be a social worker who does not know everything that's in the community, but they want to know what's in the community. So this teaches social workers and case managers how to work effectively in that veterans community when it comes to meeting people and knowing who you are. Because you say, Yvette, I got all these beds available and nobody's calling me because they don't know you. They haven't formed a relationship with you. You're not collaboratively working with them, so they're not going to have you in their book. I teach social workers how to do that with you in the community. So if you want to get this book too, so you can learn how to work with them, then get this book. I'm the author and the publisher of all of my publications. I done been here 23, 24, almost 25 years as a realtor. So this book right here, Realtor's Blueprint, The Veteran's Path to Home, Navigating the Journey from Homelessness to Home Ownership. So realtors don't know how to work with homeless veterans. They don't, because if they did, they would have been housing homeless veterans all these years. I try to work with realtors in the community talking about, let me talk to my client, the investor. Um, uh, okay, so when you're educated, you'll have a better conversation with your client investor. But right now, you don't know how to have that conversation to house these homeless veterans, the ones who you say, we shouldn't have homeless veterans, or thank you for your service. Don't nobody want to hear that. Nobody at all. You need to learn how to house these homeless veterans and get your commission. I did my first master class the other day, and my coach told me, he said, Yvette, how long you been housing veterans? I told him. He said, and how much was like your average earning, for the years? I told him. He said, you generate over $7 million income housing homeless veterans. And realtors ask me, how do you get paid? I procure a commission. I procure a transaction which results in a commission. But if you don't know how to do that, then you never will. But you can learn now by going to get my book, and it's in my bio, A Realtor's Blueprint. I have received so many awards. So many awards. There's an award I won, number one in transactions, in rental transactions. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Thanks, Tish. So in rental transactions, I mean, and I could rent anything to any homeless veteran without getting pushback from investors or program providers. I'm a realtor. So if I bring you a veteran, a homeless veteran with any type of funding as a realtor, I'm going to send you an invoice. But as a realtor, I'm going to create a disclosure with you to let you know this is what we're doing. You understand what I'm providing you, and you understand you're paying me for my services as a realtor. So if you have a veterans transitional living, one of my models here, I done sold the last book. I had to order some more. A guide to veterans shared living models, and it includes some introduction on HUD, VASH, and SSVF. So, and I've had investors who have had these, and like, you bet, I got all these beds. I'm like, okay, well, this is my fee, my commission, and I fill the beds. Yvette, I got all these apartments. Say less, I fill the apartments, and became the top agent for transactions. For transactions. That's how many veterans we have with resources or who can get resources. How am I the number one in the office for for rental transactions? Ain't nobody else renting to nobody. Am I the only one renting around here? And all of my rentals went to veterans. You would be real lucky if you got in with me as a client to rent you anything if you were not a veteran, or to sell you anything if you were not a veteran. My specialty is veterans homeless housing. I'm the subject matter expert in veterans homelessness and housing. I have written veteran villages, housing plans for municipalities, for individuals. So you want to do anything in the veterans homeless community, then I got the books for you to learn from, and also my private group, because it's just too much. What you say? What I, what AI, or what? I can't read that. I can't even read that. Just say this. Type the whole sentence. I'm 60, honey. I can't read like that. Let me go and see what you guys are saying. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Oh, let me put these. Oh, hello everybody on YouTube. It's 110 people on YouTube. Thank you guys for being here. I'll come over and answer your questions. Okay. I mean, thank you. But what are you asking? What is your question about shared housing? Tish, hey Tarita. Um, and we have some new people in here. Just want to wave and say hi to y'all. I'm not ignoring y'all over on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm just reading some comments and questions over here on TikTok. And when I see yours, I'll get back to you. And I will read the questions so everybody can hear. So, I mean, what about shared housing? What do you want to know about shared housing, honey? So I have a book. This is the book I wrote for veteran shared housing. This book is on my website and also on Amazon. So you can go get this book. This talks about how to um, open a unit. Do you help us set up shared housing for veterans? X rooms sharing. This Get the book right here. That's the book. The book helps you get set up. I don't talk all day about what's in the book. So get the book. Oh, here, let me show y'all the book we're talking about again. Get this book, and this walks you through, this steps you through. How can I reach out? Who can I reach out in Michigan? This book right here. I don't know what type of housing you're talking about. I don't know. And you want that's the question I don't know anything what you talk. I don't know what type of housing you refer. Are you a homeless veteran? I need to know a whole complete question. So for you, Sadiddy, I just read that name. I like Sadiddy. Go get the book, and then when you get the book, take a picture holding the book like this, and I'll put you in my private group. So let me see. So you are a homeless veteran. So you need to send me a DM, and I will send you a housing plan with every contact of everything that you need. Because we got to get you your benefits. That's what it sounds like. You're not service connected to have any benefits. And if you are a homeless veteran without benefits, then I refer you over to an organization that will help you get your benefits for free because you are a homeless veteran. Where can I get the book? It's in my bio. My library is in my bio, so you'll see a lot of these in my bio. I got like in the veterans, U.S. military veterans. Um, Resource educational resources, you'll see about 10 books there. So read the titles because the titles tell you exactly what's in the book. So we went through a realtor's blueprint, and for realtors who have never worked with veterans, which a lot of them have not, it teaches you what a veteran goes through. It teaches you the mindset and what veterans need and how you can um, pretty much control the guidance for that veteran. I've done this. Hold on, let me get that book. Everything that I wrote to teach you all, I've done this at the VA. Hold on, over here on YouTube. I've done this at the VA. These are some pictures of me in my workshops over here. That's me. This is at all the vet centers. Hold on, let me keep y'all. This is at all the vet centers in the city of Chicago and surrounding suburbs, except for one. I did these workshops. This picture right here is just the right here is a calendar of where I took my team because I set up all the workshops. This is under my company, under my business. So I would set up all the workshops and bring my team. They have a picture of my team from 2024. That's a picture of my team right here for 2024. So, oh, y'all don't even see a picture of my team right here. Okay. On the top left picture is a picture of my team from 2024. And then the team changes over time because some people can't hang. It's just that simple. Some people are like, look, Yvette, working with these veterans is too much. Now they said I can't do something. That's that TikTok restriction something. I can't say something. So let me go and tell them that I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see it. So anyway, let me see another question. Yeah, in my bio. Thank y'all for being here and for tapping the screen. Max Tilt. Let me see. I can't even see. Max Fit. Okay, Max Fit 3. Make sure you go to my bio. Not my bio, but my DM and send me your information so that I can send you the link where you can fill me in on everything you need so that I can send you everything you need. Because people think, oh, just go to the VA. The VA, why? So they can turn your butt around. You know how many times I got turned around from the VA as a homeless veteran because they didn't get the book. The social workers didn't have my book back then. When I started working in the VA as a volunteer, mind you, not even an employee, I came to the VA as a realtor to house homeless veterans. I had already been housing homeless veterans for right here. This is the book that this is the third edition, by the way, not the first or the second, not even the folders that I would put all this information in. This is the third edition, but it's really like the fifth. So as a hold on, I like to show and tell for you newbies. As a volunteer at the VA, that's my volunteer badge right there. They let me in the door to teach veterans how to get housed, to teach um, social workers and case managers how to work effectively in the community. I tried to teach realtors years ago. I wrote a class before this book. I wrote a class to teach realtors how to work with Section 8 with the housing choice voucher from a realtor's perspective. They were like, I can't do that. What? What if? I'm like, ugh, I just can't. So I wrote the class in 2014. I taught the class the end of 2014, 15, and 16. I'm like, that's enough. It's just so much you can give. It's just so much. And then after a while, you like, look, you don't want help. You want to tell me, Yvette, how can you work from 9 to 5, and don't you have open houses and showings in the evenings? And no, I know when my business operates on the same schedule as the organizations that have the funding for these homeless veterans. So why should I work from 7 to 11 p.m. when the agencies are open from 8 to 4 or 9 to 5? Really? So that's how I operated for many, many years. I was a single parent of 2 children, 2 very active kids. Horseback riding, musical instruments, ballet, taekwondo, flying airplanes, riding horses, you name it. I didn't have time to be working with homeless veterans when their case managers or social workers were at home chilling. Who does that? So everybody got accommodated during the time I worked and the time that the maintenance guys were at all these apartments, condos, and houses. So, Sadiddy, what you say? Oh, you left the DM. Thank you. Does the shared housing book help us finding vets? You can't, you just asked me 2 different things because the shared housing is not HUD Vash. It's not HUD Vash. I just had a brief conversation with one of my clients today. Get the book and read the book. I don't like answering one-off questions because you need the education. I like to educate, and then we can come together in my private group and we go over so many other things. Like, where do you find the funding? Because it's not just finding the veteran. If the veteran doesn't come with funding, then who you just housing somebody for free? No, I'm a government contractor. And another thing that's going to be announced tomorrow. We're going to have the announcement tomorrow. And I'm going to announce it. I think I'm going to put the announcement on all the social media channels about about a new position that I have on an executive board of directors for veteran business owners looking to do business, or even future veteran business owners who are looking to do business with the government, with private entities, with city government, with federal, with primes. You can be a sub. I'm so excited about this, y'all, because this is my business partner in Derek E. Green, the CPPO, Certified Program Procurement, where certified CPPO, Certified Public Procurement Officer. He told me the other day, he said, Yvette, you need to start talking about government contracting, your government contracting more. I'm like, Derek, no, That's too heavy. It is. It's heavy enough talking about housing homeless veterans. And now I'm going to add on contracting. No, we're going to do that in baby steps. You can't just jump in becoming a veterans contractor or a veterans business if you're not already one. So we help you get that in order. So when you're coming into veterans housing, you got to learn that first. You have to do the operation first. And then the next step is, how do you get positioned to work in the community as a contractor to become awarded these government housing awards, these government housing contracts. So no, I'm not going to muddy up the water and start talking about both of those. I'll get kind of crazy questions all over the place. So you learn first. You get some books and you read, and then we have intelligent conversations. What's the biggest, here we go. What's the biggest housing challenge veterans face right now? The biggest housing challenge veterans face right now is the community not knowing how to effectively work with them, especially when we have realtors who are saying to these homeless veterans, we can't house you, even though you have federal funds that are protected. You're protected because you were awarded a HUD VASH voucher, but we can't house you. Or the community of investors who say, well, they're uneducated, thinking that veterans live, just any old kind of way because they want to. I'm working with the homeless female veteran and her caretaker right now. She's 72. She had a HUD VASH voucher, but because the uneducated realtors in South Carolina, in Charlottesville, Virginia, didn't know how to have a decent conversation with their investor to explain just how easy it is to work with the homeless veteran with the voucher that's going to pay you your rent and come with social services. But nobody can have that conversation because they're not educated on just a slightly different process. Thanks for that amazing question. What's the first step? What first step should a new advocate take in getting involved? Go to my bio and get every book there is to read. Because in order for you to do any job, to be any type of advocate, you have to have information. And my books provide that information for you. How do partnerships truly change outcomes for veterans? Very easy. Very easy. Over the years, over 22 plus years, I've had partnerships with major and I can show y'all in the book. I got letters in the book. Ooh, that's why I love show and tell. So partnerships, right? I have partnerships with property owners. Property owners. I have known and worked with Miss Jones over 2 years. During this time, Miss Jones has established a very successful business relationship. Okay, partnership with our firm. She not only has rented many of our 400 units, but she has done so in an extremely professional manner. Then we jump over to, let's go over to the money part. Okay, that's one part of the money. But the veteran who is going to one of those 400 units has to come with funding. So where does that veteran come from? That veteran comes from an organization that has the funding, like Heartland Alliance. I'm not even talking about HUD VASH yet. That's additional. Heartland Alliance has funding, and this was back in 2015. This letter: we want to extend our thanks to you for assisting the homeless veterans we serve in finding housing. Your effort to provide not only the landlord contacts, but the housing units is invaluable. So these homeless veterans go over to those 400 units. And these veterans from this organization, Heartland Alliance, pay the rent. I have a relationship with both the investor and the organization. So the investor knows where the money's coming from. And that's the part a lot of people are missing when they start doing veterans homeless housing or veterans transitional housing. They don't know how to form partnerships. Get my books and read them. How can communities identify veterans in need of housing faster? Go into the community. Go into the community, because veterans don't know who you are. They don't know. It's 411 organizations that have received over $900 million in grants. And this grant, number one, goes for housing. Number one. I'm not even talking about HUD Vash. This grant, this is grant and per diem and grants to with $818 million in grants to 235 organizations across the country to help veterans who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. And then the very next month, an additional 84 million in grants to 176 organizations tackling veterans homelessness across the United States. So that's how can communities identify, go in the community. That's how you do, because the community does not know where this money is. So I have training for all of this. If you buy my books, you are invited to my private group where I get into more detail. I have master classes and intense master classes. They're called intensives, where I show you how to do all of this. But you got to get a book to read it. Otherwise, you won't know what you're doing. And I don't read to you. You went to school, you have books, go back to school and get these books. So this is another book I wrote. This book, because I had a lot of people saying, Yvette, I'm a nurse. Yvette, I'm in the medical profession. So there's one girl in Atlanta, but even though it says Atlanta, I show you how you can use this book for any city, any state, because I teach you how to use AI if you don't know how already. But this has specifics just for our veterans community. Thank y'all for being here. I'm not even going to be on long because I have to create a launch information for tomorrow. I am a new executive board member on an organization, national organization, but the board level I'm on is for Illinois. That's our chapter. And I'm the newest board member. And our board is to help, and no matter what state you are, just look up ELITE, ELITE. And the board is to help veteran business owners, or if you are interested in becoming a veterans business owner, then we show you how to do that within the I'm new, right? Within the organization. So I know that, all of that. And we showcase businesses that you can potentially do business with, not get a job. This is to do business with. So we showcase Department of Labor. No, we showcase the Department of Defense. And the Department of Defense says, you know what? Yeah, we need veterans housing. And this is how veteran businesses can get involved or become our partners, become a prime or a sub to a prime that we have access to because they need your services. These organizations that receive these grants, you could become a sub because you have the housing. But how do you do that if you are a veterans business owner? You don't know how yet. So that's what the organization Elite teaches you. And my books teach you how to get to becoming that veterans business in housing. Put it that way. Oh, that was a mouthful. So it is a lot to do in this community when it comes to veterans housing. I'm a realtor. And as a realtor, I'm not going out opening doors and doing open houses and saying, oh, come look at this house. I can do that, but I do it on a like systematic basis. So everything has to come with a production, really, because that's how I do it. But it gets eyes on the prize. Yes, it does. Let me see. What else do y'all have to talk about? Oh, so diddy. That's the share book here. Finding. Oh, you can't use that. Yep. So I want to thank y'all for being here. Oh, I'm supposed to be on TikTok for an hour and 10 minutes, and I've been over here only for 35 minutes. I'm excited about my new role. As an executive board member. Oh, that has a nice ring to it. So my set is going to be a little different going forward in starting December 30th. So I will be interviewing businesses that want to do business with veteran business owners. So you all will be have a first front row seat of an interview of several interviews of veteran businesses and companies that want to do business with veteran businesses. I'm so excited. I'm really, really excited. So now I can reach out to veteran businesses that I want to do business with that I believe that will definitely help veterans who are not only looking to do business with them, but for veterans who need their business. Who can I reach out to in Michigan for housing? Oh, we did that already. Mel Johnson. Hey, Mel Johnson, thanks for being here. You came on a little bit late. Now you have to go on YouTube and watch the rest because this is real exciting. I'm announcing my new position tomorrow as executive director for Elite here in Chicago. It is a veterans organization, 501c19, that is to support veterans in business to do business with companies that are looking to do business with those veteran businesses. Man, say that 3 times fast. I will do that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm kind of worn out tonight. This there was a lot of preparation, and I still have to do some more preparation. I have to. Ooh, thank you for the hearts. Send in my articles for Mission Roll Call. I'm also the subject matter expert and writer for Mission Roll Call. So please go to Mission Roll Call and read my articles on veterans homelessness and housing solutions. We're still in 38 states. I haven't gotten any new states on board yet. So let me see if that's going to come up. Speaker view. Okay, take me. We're in New Mexico. Okay, here. I think this is it. Yeah, New Mexico. Yeah. So, and that's another thing that's on my agenda is to interview more. Um, is to interview more providers, housing providers who have read my publications and who are in my private group. Housing homeless veterans with resources is not hard at all. You just have to, change your mindset on how do you it's revenue and investors need the revenue um, to run their business. How are you going to have vacant housing, especially when you have government funding that I've never seen ever, never, ever go away in all the years that I've been housing homeless veterans? I've never had a I've never had a investor call to tell me they didn't get paid once that contract was approved by either HUD or their service provider, one of those agencies that received all that money. I've never seen one. I have never had an investor to call me to tell me they haven't gotten paid. Not one. Let me see. I think I have one of my investor videos on here. He called me. He said, Yvette, call me. It'll take 5 minutes. I said, okay. And he said, Yvette, I've had these tenants in my building for the greater part of 10 years. And he said, I just want to thank you, because if it wasn't for you providing these tenants, then, I couldn't have, this lifestyle. He's an older gentleman, and we're looking for one more. And he said, you know what, just excuse me, just take your time, because I know I know when this tenant comes that they'll be here a while. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Because what I like to do, and what I teach others how to do, is know your clients, both of them. Get to know that veteran you're advocating for housing for, and get to know the investor who has that available housing. I've been called a matchmaker several times because I know. I remember I created a plan for one of my investors, and he just sent me a newsletter that he was buying a lot of two flats, and I said, okay, this is good. So the two flats, they weren't in the best of communities. They were okay, but not the very, very best. But they were livable. You can go around a corner, get on a bus, and go to a corner store. Um, and I said, okay, for two flats, okay, got the perfect plan. Perfect, because the two flats all had either 2 or 3 bedrooms. So now, when you have a unit with 2 or 3 bedrooms, that means you're going to get somebody with children. And in this case, I recall one of the units, one of the buildings, a two flat, had a 2 bedroom on the bottom and a 3 bedroom on top. So I said, okay. And the woman who I housed in the 3 bedroom on top had kids, and she was a single mom. I said, okay, those girls are going to be coming and going. So what we need on the first floor is a male, maybe a single dad. A male just by himself, a 1 bedroom voucher, can pay the rent on this 2 bedroom unit. And he would also be responsible for the grass and the snow, making sure all the doors are locked. You know how veterans like to do. And that plan worked out so much. One of the ladies called me. She said, he acts like he my daddy. I'm like, girl, just say thank you and appreciate when he comes to the door to let you in. He's looking after you, because that's what he does. I know him. That's what he does. He'll call me and just ask me that, how you doing, how you hanging. Let him care for the building. Let him care for the surroundings. So that worked out in most of his properties, except when one of the girls said, oh, he likes me. I'm like, oh my God, he ain't liking on you. So yeah, that plan really did work. So anyway, then I've got three more books that I have not, and then I've got to do another update on another book. But yeah, so I'm not even going to show these yet. But let's get through the first thing. Keep the first thing. With how they say, keep the main thing the main thing. Let's do that. And go to my bio and read. Okay, and do what you have to do. What role does medical health? I think so. I don't know. I don't know if some of these people are real for real. What role does mental health support play in housing stability? A lot. So in these programs, veterans have to be in a mental health program in order to be approved by these programs. First of all, you know, yes. How can local government better support grassroots efforts? Local government has already supported grassroots efforts. Local government, now let me take that back. Federal government has supported grassroots efforts by the grants and funding. How can local governments better by allowing training so that these local organizations can learn? I had a meeting with an organization at the beginning of this year. Had the nerve to tell me, we already have training. Well, how many homeless veterans have you accounted that you still haven't served? How many homeless veterans are there in the city? So whatever training that you have apparently isn't that effective. So I left it alone. I didn't contact them anymore. And then I was at a function with the city, and I met the director, and she said, "Girl, oh, you do what?" She said, "I got to get you in front of this group, in front of this department." I said, "Oh," I said, "Okay, thank you." I said, "Coming from you, it might fare better." Yeah, because she knows what the city is going through in terms of homeless veterans, which every city, if you say you have one homeless veteran, you have one too many, because it's easy to get that homeless veteran house as long as you know where the funding is. And then the training for these, hold on a second. I can't get over this enough. The training for these realtors. I'm not bashing on my realtor colleagues, but they just don't know. They don't know. They ask me all the time, Yvette, how do you get paid? What do you mean how I get paid? I get a commission just like you. What they're really asking me is, how do I procure that? How do I procure that rental? That's what they're really asking me. So go get the book so you can learn, and then join my private group. I'm going to tell y'all over here on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook, farewell, because I've got some work to do tonight and I need my laptop. So thank you all, 240 people, for showing up once again and asking these amazing questions. And go get my books, because as you see, I don't read to you. You want to learn to do something, then take your butt back to school and read. All right, let me play my outro. Oh, if you have not started following me, please do. I have almost 800 videos on YouTube. 800 videos. And I think I started doing this, let me see, after this, after my Odds to Boo class. What was that? Yeah, because retired colonel asked me that, how do people know what you're doing? How do people know? I'm like, they don't know, Colonel. They don't know. What dates? Every Thursday, yep, for 2 hours. What date? I just, oh, let me see. No. I had so much homework. Oh, that's week one. $10 million contract. I was doing unsolicited proposals. I learned so much. I redid my capability statement. That helped me so much. Updated my SAM.gov. Updated my DSBS, Dynamic Small Business System. They taught me so much in here. I renewed my my SAM registration. They taught me how to indicate my cage codes of business of my professional services that I really was doing. I'm like, nobody ever told me that. But that's what education is for. If you don't take time to learn, then you're not going to know. And that's why I don't be asking questions that I know you can go and read a book to and learn. Dad, why wasn't I putting dates on my notes? Ooh, my 14-day action plan. Oh, and oh yeah, the R. Oh my goodness, yeah, R4. Okay, that's the animal. R499. That was me. Support professional. Support professional other. R499. That's a real common code. The U code. Then the U code education training general. Education training lectures. Oh, we just learned so much in here. And I had to update out. And then here's some more X codes. Lease rental of family housing facilities. Lease rental of troop housing facilities. Lease rental of residential buildings. Support professional real property appraisals. I took that one out because I'm not an appraiser. Support professional communications. I mean, it's just so much support. All right, let me see the date. June 20th. June 20th is when I started this class. It's right here. Oh my goodness. So from June, let me see, 10 weeks. June, July, August. So August, I said August, yeah. So August is when I came on live every day, starting in August. And now I have over 700 videos on YouTube that you can start watching if you want to learn more about housing homeless veterans. But the easiest way to do it is to get a book and read the book and then be invited to my private group. If you have already purchased any book and I don't know who you are, then go to my my messaging, email me or DM me, and then I'll put you on a private group. I have an intensive class coming up, and that intensive class, I've got a special offer, but you have to have my book. You have to have read something, because I don't allow, asking me a question about something that you could read and expect me to answer it. I don't know what school some people went to, but I know the schools I went to. Miss Jones, that's in the book. You didn't do your homework. I only needed to hear that one time. Never again. I want to thank y'all for being here. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 5:15 Central, 17:15.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.